And based on the journal entries, it's believed that Lalit was the mastermind of the entire thing. He got his family to follow him by saying that the soul of his dad had entered his body. Lalit told his family that at the end of the ritual, the spirit of his dad would come back and untie their hands. Based on this evidence, it became clear to authorities that the rest of the family didn't think that they were going to die doing this. They thought that this was just a ritual. It's believed that Lalit was the one to tie everyone up, and police also believed that he was the last to die. During a post-mortem examination on the bodies, authorities found almost no signs of defensive wounds. They even stated that it seemed as though the family was hanging peacefully. Because police couldn't find any evidence to support murder, they eventually ruled the Bhatia deaths as a ritual mass suicide motivated by shared psychosis. Shared psychosis is a psychiatric syndrome in which symptoms of a delusional belief are transmitted from one person to another. Police believe that Lalit suffered from some sort of delusional disorder, and unfortunately, since he was the leader of the family, the rest of them kind of just blindly followed. But one thing just doesn't make sense to me, and it's small pieces of evidence that they found when doing the post-mortem examinations. Authorities found that the grandma who was strangled had small injuries, indicating that she could have been held down. One of the older brothers was also found to have a small cut on his knuckle, and when he was found, one of his arms was raised, indicating that he was trying to free himself. And I think this is the saddest detail of all, but the youngest child had partially swallowed the towel that was in their mouth. It's not clear if this was accidental or if it was forced down their throat like that. All of this evidence was so minor that authorities couldn't prove whether this was indeed a mass suicide or if it was maybe forced at the hands of Lalit. If this truly was just a ritual and none of them expected to die, why was the grandma strangled to death first? To me, that shows ill intentions. Some think that the reason they were all blindfolded and had their ears plugged was so that they couldn't hear or see the others before them struggling and dying. The kids were found to be tied tighter than anyone else, almost as if they were not intended to escape. Some extended family believes that the entire family was murdered and this was a huge cover-up. And their main reasoning is that if Lalit was truly responsible, his hands wouldn't have been tied too. Despite major backlash and public outcry, police have stuck with their original ruling that this was a ritual mass suicide as a result of shared psychosis. But to this day, so many questions remain unanswered, such as how 11 different people over 3 generations all agreed to end their own lives, and why no one questioned Lalit. Another major question is how not one single person told anyone outside of the family. You would think that the younger kids would tell their friends or something, but not one single person said a word of what they had planned. It's now been 6 years, and whatever happened to the Bhatia family that summer night remains a mystery.